There's another case trending this morning. The judge in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial has set the final ground rules, and they're not sitting well with so many people out there. Rittenhouse is that white teenager charged with shooting 3 people, killing 2 of them. Happened at a protest against police brutality in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year. The protest started after police shot Jacob Blake in the back, leaving him paralyzed. There's Rittenhouse running towards police who did not arrest him. You see him with the long gun there. He traveled from Illinois with the weapon. Now the judge might have some very specific language about the people who were shot. Justice correspondent Candace Kelley is here with us now. And Candace, we have to unpack this and break it down. What can and cannot be said during this trial, how people are going to be referred to, including those who are dearly departed. So take us through it.
Sharon, just some interesting facts, some interesting decisions that the judge made in terms of what those who were shot could actually be called. Even I was about to call them victims. He said not so. In this court, you cannot call those who were shot and killed victims. That is out of the question. Now, this is a long-standing rule that the judge has had in this courthouse, but it's interesting on the other side is that he said you can call those who were shot looters and arsonists and things of that nature, but you can't call them victims. So that was something that certainly was of interest and didn't sit well with the prosecution. And he said, listen, let the evidence show what it shows. The judge says, let the evidence show what it shows. And because the 3 people who were shot are not on trial here, he said that this is why we can call them looters or arsonists or rioters, but you just can't, Sharon, call them victims. So a lot to unfold there. Have to see how this plays out.
I have to follow up because they're not here to defend themselves, and I haven't heard evidence that these specific 3 deceased people were involved in arson, looting, or rioting. Candace, does this make legal sense?
It doesn't make a lot of sense, except, again, if you do go back to the judge's record, this has been a long-standing rule that he has had in his court. He said that calling people victims tends to lead people like those who are on the jury that a crime was actually committed when actually you're trying to figure that out in court. So there's some nuances in the wording here. But legal sense, I guess for his courtroom, that's what he's been doing. So it makes sense that he didn't change up. That sits well with people. But in terms of victims, I mean, they were shot. And if you can call them looters and rioters, why can't you call them victims? You're going to be able to prove one or the other. And that's what he said. Let the evidence show. So I say, let the evidence show that they're victims or rioters. So let it all stand.
Okay, so we'll see how that plays out inside that courtroom. The judge is allowing a use of force expert, but this expert cannot testify about Kyle Rittenhouse's state of mind. So explain that.
So listen, this was a use of force expert that the defense wanted to use to show how a police officer might react in that situation. Well, the prosecutor said, listen, Kyle Rittenhouse is not a police officer, so why are we even bringing the police in this? This is going to muddy up things. So the prosecution and defense, Sharon, made a deal. They said, all right, you can have your use of force expert take the stand if he does not kind of talk to the intent of Kyle Rittenhouse. And if you do that, then guess what? We will bring our own defense experts. So there's only going to be 1 or 2 expert witnesses, and those are the witnesses that the defense can bring. But again, they can only kind of address what was going on the video, step by step, what happened, but they cannot talk about the intent of what Kyle Rittenhouse might have had that day. Or what a police officer or somebody in that situation might have felt at that time. But they can examine the video and go step by step what might have happened in each clip that is a part of the evidence, Sharon.
Yeah, and that's going to be key, that even frame by frame analysis. Rittenhouse says, Candace, that he was acting in self-defense. Prosecutors, and many of us want to know too, when exactly was he threatened? Because so many of us saw this, and we just aren't understanding that. Will that key moment, whether they are able to show it or it is absent, be what this trial hinges on?
Oh, absolutely, because that is his defense, self-defense. But as you said, where was the threat? If you are acting in self-defense, then that means you were threatened in some way. And here's what the law says, that the person who has acted in self-defense must show that they exhausted every single other means of escape before resorting to deadly force. So did we see that on the video? I mean, you saw it, I saw it. It didn't seem like he was backed up into a corner. It didn't seem like he used any other way of dealing with this. He just went right to the gun. He didn't run. He didn't talk to them. He didn't do anything. So in that regard, it's going to be a very difficult uphill battle for him to say, I was acting in self-defense, because the threat necessarily was not there. And I think that the video shows that. It's going to be a hard road to toe.
Yeah, it showed a lot that night, Candace, including, running towards police and running by them. And there's so much, as I said, to unpack here.
There
Candace,
is.
we thank you for your legal analysis. No, go. Give us a final thought.
Well, I just wanted to say that one of the things that will be included, and I think that this is really important, Sharon, is that they will be able to show the defense that before the shooting, Kyle Rittenhouse was approached by the police, offered water, thanked for his service in terms of being there, in order to show that his actions were validated. Wow. And that he didn't have this reckless state of vigilante mind. And I think that that's very important for the defense, and overall, just a good day for the defense. The prosecutors are going to have a hard time too with these types of admissions by the judge, but the recording and the self-defense, big part of it, Sharon.
It is. We'll see what happens in these cases that are all recorded and chronicled before our eyes. It seems that once they're inside a courtroom, we don't know what's going to happen. You've taught us that. Candace Kelley, thank you so much. Appreciate you. We'll see you for the next installment. Mike, help me understand here how this 18-year-old who illegally crossed state lines with his long gun and took it upon himself to patrol, use deadly force, if you will, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, why he was there. I would hope would be part of this thing. And I understand Candace unpacked it perfectly for us from a legal standpoint. But if I'm gone, and I understand what she's saying. They can be these deceased people, either painted with this brush or that brush based on the evidence. But it just seems to start out with, yeah, you can call them arsonists. Yeah, you can call them looters. Yeah, you can call them rioters. But she can't. It's very bizarre to me. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, they're deceased. They're dead. They're no longer with us. And by the way, it's not even a black-white thing, because the people he killed are white, and they were protesting out there. And how is it that you can label them one way, which can be prejudged by members of the jury, but you can't label them what they are? They're victims. They were killed. Like you said, by a boy, a man. Let me stop. A man, because we're going to call him a man. He had a gun. He was acting like a man, so we're going to treat him like a man. A man who carried a gun across state lines. What was he doing there in the first place? Patrolling? Did the police ask him to come? Now, the police reaction makes me kind of think that, hey, they're happy for his service. You did us a favor. You got rid of some of these, whatever you want to label them, these protesters, these looters, these Black Lives Matter foes or friends, I should say. So it makes no sense to me. But then living here enough and long enough, Sharon, I guess it makes a lot of sense, because this is the way it has been for so many years. You look at a guy like Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof gets captured, taken to Burger King. You know Dylan Roof from killing 9 parish the churchgoers in South Carolina. Taking to Burger King. This guy's running down the street. People are saying he killed somebody. Stop him, stop him. This guy's given a pass. This is probably part of this is a big part of the issue. Yeah. Look at this man running down the street at this time. If the sound was up, you're like, stop him, stop him. He shot somebody. They're screaming. and he is allowed to just walk away. Like, he's got his hands up. He's basically saying, hey, I give up. I've done something wrong. And they're like, no, you're good. You got this long gun. You're fine. Basically, bro, you just helped us do our job. That's the message that's being sent out there, Sharon. So, yeah, help you explain it.
Yeah.
Help you unpack that. It's hard to. It's
Yeah.
America, baby.
I think he got all the way home before, Ricky Schroeder started paying his bail and stuff. Okay, I'm no longer a fan there. But the judge said, yeah. He said the defense can't use these pejorative terms in opening statements, but closing arguments have at it if they think it's going to win points with the jury. That's what this judge said. So, as I told Candace, we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's criminal justice system all the way around. Not just what the police say it all the time. It's the judges, prosecutors, it's everybody. Criminal justice system, their criminal justice system, and everybody else's.